Let's get started on today's topic, right? Potential pitfalls in a rising market. So as usual, we will first start off with a little bit of Newsflash, recent news. So the one that I really wanted to talk about is the Singapore Census 2020. So what it did, it tracked, it did a survey of the population to see what are the preferences, what are the data for the population. And the data that I thought was most interesting from the census was this table. So in the year of 2020, this year, the group that took up the largest proportion, that means the most people that were the biggest group, right, were earning an income of 20,000 and above, and this is combined household income. It's quite surprising. It caught me by surprise, and the change from just 2010 is extremely significant because in 2010, the group that was occupying the largest percentage at 16.2% was at $3,000 to $5,000 combined household income. Today it's at 20,000, the group that is the biggest group. In the year 2000, 20 years back, the largest group was occupied by people with a combined household income of 1,000 to 3,000. So that is a very clear indication of the increase in affluence in the Singapore household. Just for some perspective, a combined household income of $20,000, the loan eligibility that a family like that can take, assuming a 30 years loan, I think assuming a 30 years loan is 2.6 million based on total debt servicing ratio and assuming there's no debt. And that would translate into a purchase price of 3.45 million. That's not the only data that I found interesting. So this was another article, and this was from yesterday actually. So Credit Suisse did a report consolidating the high net worth individuals across the world, and what they said for Singapore was that they expect a 61.9% increase in millionaires by 2025, which is not that far away, 4 years from now. They expect an increase in the numbers from 270,000 today to 437,000 in 2025. So the census and the Credit Suisse report seems to be pointing in the same direction, that there is going to be a significant increase in affluent Singaporeans moving forward. And the census also gives us some clue as to why this is happening. They have mentioned that over 50% of married couples today have dual careers, meaning the husband and wife both work. And also another data shows that couples are getting married later and having kids later also. They prioritize their careers. They want to ensure that they are on a strong financial footing before getting married and having kids. What that results in is a higher disposable income for them to spend on things like private properties, which is why we see an increase in preference for private properties, an increase in percentage of population that is staying in private properties, increasing from 11.5% to 16% in the last 10 years.
Hello, sorry to interrupt. We'd like to take the opportunity to thank you for watching the video and also to share why we do what we do. Is to empower consumers with hard facts and figures, quality research and real-life examples to allow them to make the most informed property decisions. So if you found our videos useful, the only thing we ask for is for you to smash that like and subscribe button so that the YouTube algorithm can push out our videos to more consumers. Thank you, and back to the video.
And all of this, we actually did see it coming. we put that into our predictions video, predictions for 2021 video, where we predicted that landed properties, the price will see a significant increase. And also, we predicted that there will be a high demand for larger units, which is what we see today. I will elaborate on them a little more later on. I'm going to put the link to the predictions video in the description as well. So, how did we see this coming? It's more of a on-the-ground sensing of sorts because of the type of clients that we were speaking to, and then we realized that Singaporeans are really sitting on quite a lot of cash. But now that we see the census data, it sort of backs up what we were feeling on the ground. And guess that's the benefit of being on the ground, because we get to have first-hand information by speaking to buyers and homeowners in the market before the data comes in, because the census data comes in one every 10 years. So being able to experience that on the ground sensing firsthand allows us to act on it, right? And share that information with you guys quicker. So if you want to see what else were in our predictions, right, just check it out in the description, right? The link is in the description below. So what are some of the other points I thought was relevant or good in the particular article that we shared? The resident household increased from 1.15 million to 1.37 million. The MSF defines resident household as a household basically anchored by at least one Singaporean or one permanent resident. So why so? We attribute it to an increase in singles, which was also indicated in the census, right? And a growing demand, basically more and more people also taking up PRs, more and more people moving out and staying on their own. So this increase in resident household, the number of resident households, is an indication of the strong organic demand in the Singapore property market. Okay. The other thing that we saw is a decrease in the numbers living in HDB flats. This is somewhat of a very logical deduction, because the increase in the numbers staying in private properties will represent a decrease in numbers in HDB flats. Okay, Leong, I would like to think couples earning. Yep, that makes sense as well. The loan tenure, the loan amount, loan eligibility should be pretty similar also lah. Wouldn't vary by much for 30 years to 25 years.